What up, y'all? LocsNLoad Firearm reviews here today. Alright, today, going on more educational, helpful tips for you guys. Answer the question, what optic height should I go with? Alright, so there's like three main levels of optic heights. You got absolute co-witness, lower 1/3 co-witness, and then you got these, higher than lower 1/3 optics. They're not gonna co-witness anything because your optic is gonna sit higher than your iron sights, so you're not really gonna have anything to co-witness with. But those ones come in at like 193, 206, 226. Those higher optics, higher mount optics. All right, so absolute co-witness. That's the lowest mount that your optic sits on. Basically, you put up a picture of an AR-15 sight. You got your front and rear sight. Absolute co-witness, your dot is going to be sitting right on top of that front sight, basically like a lowercase I, right? Is going to be, that's absolute co-witness, where your dot is sitting right on top of your front sight. Now, when I first started, that's the way I shot. Absolute co-witness. I thought that's the way it was supposed to be. The dot right on top of the front sight post. And it works too. Don't get me wrong. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just it makes your sight picture a little bit more busier. Because you got the two, you got your front sight post and you got the forks on the side to protect it. And now you got your red dot on top. So that's a lot of stuff in your optic. Because when you go to draw down a target, like some of the problems I had, I go and engage a small target like 100 yards plus. Now with the front sight post and everything in there, it was kind of hard to really see the entire picture because the bottom of my optic is filled up with my iron sights. I can still get hits. It just took a little bit more thinking and guesswork to really kind of, okay, I think that's my target, because I can only see so much. And one of the downsides of that absolute co-witness is that it's so low on your rifle. When you go shoulder, your head's tucked down. You have to really tuck in and suck in, and that takes a lot of energy. It's not very comfortable either. And if you're shooting for, let's say you're doing CQB for a long time, you're gonna get tired of that sunken in position, sinking in. And so you're gonna start cheating. Instead of putting your stock fully in your shoulder where it should be, you're gonna put the little tip right up here. You're gonna just raise it up higher so you don't have to dip down. Now your recoil management and your ergonomics of how you load, right, is all messed up because that's not the way you're supposed to shoot. So absolute co-witness works, but definitely nowadays, guys, don't do it. You don't need to do it. Now I'm gonna explain all the optic mounts you really should be looking into. But that's absolute co-witness, where your red dot is sitting right on top of your front sight post. Your optic is sitting low, and you got to scrunch your head down. Not very comfortable. Lower 1/3 co-witness. So with lower 1/3, your iron sight, instead of being right in the middle of your optic window where the red dot is, it's going to sit at the bottom of your optic. So you're going to see, you'll still be able to use your iron sights, but there's going to be a gap between your red dot. You're going to have some space, and then you'll see your iron sights near the bottom of that, in the window of your optic. So, and one of the benefits of that is that you can still see everything you need to see. Your sight picture isn't as busy because the iron sights is now at the bottom of the optic, not right in the middle of it. So you can see a little bit more, so that when you're shooting out the distance, you can kind of actually see the whole target and put your dot right in the middle of it instead of kind of guessing. I think that's this middle. You're not scrunched down as so much, so when you're doing CQB, it's a little bit more relaxive, but still after a while, because you still have to kind of scrunch down a little bit, it's still kind of uncomfortable, and it still will start to annoy you after a while. But lower 1/3, that's what I got on my BRN 180 right now. I eventually raised that optic height up to where it is on my 11.5, but right now it's lower 1/3 and it does fine. And that's kind of, if they didn't have the higher optic mounts, that would be my recommended optic mount, was lower 1/3. Now, like I said, some of the pros, the cons of it, you're still kind of scrunched down a little bit, so you will kind of find yourself cheating a little bit, when your neck gets tired of holding it down and shit, right? Um, it's a little bit more advantageous under night vision, because again, you don't have to get so down into that rifle. You can kind of keep your head up and straight, and still bring your optic up into your tubes. What else was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh well, it's a gun rant. Not supposed to be like super technical and educational, but I'm just giving you guys like gist of why, right? So low 1/3, it has your iron sights at the bottom of the optic, and your red dot is right there in the middle, and you still have your full view of everything. Now, my preferred optic height, which is what people use nowadays, you'll see like the Unity tactical mounts, right? It brings it up to like a 193, 206, 226, right? Those heights. Now those are where you really want to be. Now, so if you're watching this video, 193, 206, 226, those are the optic mount heights you really want to go with nowadays. And the reason why they moved to those higher optics, right? I almost want to call it carry handle height, because it's kind of the same height as like as a carry handle with the aim point on top, like how you'll see like a Black Hawk Down. Like it's pretty much almost just like the same height as that. But the reason why they did that, it was is because guys, special forces guys, they'll be doing CQB with absolute code witness, low 1/3 code witness optics, and for hours and hours and hours and hours, and they're finding out it was causing problems in their neck. They got the heavy ass helmet, all this body armor and shit, and after a while your body gets fatigued being scrunched up like that. It's very taxing. It requires more energy to do that than just boom. And then two, night vision. With your goggles and everything, all this sticking up, it's kind of harder to really get your head down and see everything. If you keep your head up in a natural, relaxed, just the way it is position, you put in your shoulder and you bring the gun up, that higher optic mount will just really line up with your goggles. And so you don't have to scrunch down, you have to look for the optic. You really just look at your target, bring the rifle up, and put the dot on the target and squeeze the trigger. And so it's a lot more efficient, basically. That's what the higher optic allows you to be, more efficient, not so fatigued, so you can continue on with your mission and what you're doing, your training, for a longer period of time versus, with these lower optic mounts that require you to scrunch down, put your head down and everything. So hopefully that's decent enough explanation of optic mount heights, which ones you should go with. Back in the day, they had the carry handle sights. They thought it was too tall because it's not like a cheek. It's not like a cheek well. It's like a chin. And so there's like, well, maybe if we lower the optics and get tight on the rifle, it'll be better, right? And so they did that, and then they kind of realized, okay, it's fatiguing on the body to be that scrunched and that low to the rifle. So they raised it up to a low 1/3, and then it worked for a while, and then it's like, hey, there's still problems with it. Let's fix it. And now we're at these 193, 226 height mounts, like Unity Tactical or Overbore Precision, I think. Those companies that make those higher optic mounts for your red dots and whatnot. Now, I recommend, if you're cheapo like me, you can go on Amazon and get the Yankee Hill riser. I forgot what the whole name, but it's Yankee Hill machine. It's a riser off Amazon. It's like 30-something bucks, and it does the same thing as like the Unity tactical mount. The only thing is I like about the Yankee Hill is that it's a rail section, and so that rail section gives you enough rail to put your red dot, and if you want a magnifier, you put your magnifier on that same rail section, like how I've done on my 11.5. Now, if you go out and get the Unity tactical mount, you have to get the red dot Unity tactical mount, and then you got to get the Unity tactical magnifier mount. So that's two mounts, and that's probably going to be at least like $400, right? Because Unity tactical is like, they charge a lot, but it's for a reason. It's good shit, right? But if you want to kind of find a cheaper route to get the same thing done, the Yankee Hill machine rail mount, rail riser, whatever, that's something you probably want to go with. You slap it on top of your AR-15, torque it down. You can put your red dot on there, and then you can put your magnifier if you choose so. So that's what I recommend for a Optic mount riser, Yankee Hill machine. All right, so hopefully that was educational enough. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys. I know all these topics don't always be so exciting. Like Optic height mounts, like it's kind of boring. Yeah, but it's important. You know, for those who actually want to know the knowledge and not just see me mag dump and just run around and just shoot shit because it's entertaining and you don't learn anything. And so it's mentally easier for you to digest the information because you don't have to learn. You just watch and oh. All right, so for those who do like education, hopefully this helped you out. Now, if you guys got any more questions, put it down in the comment section. I like to try to help out, see what's on your guys' mind, and what I can, constantly keep coming out with new content about. So, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay dangerous. LocsNLoad out.